very good evening from Thammasat Stadium. It's Reem and Roshan still here for the second Group B match of the night. It's Syria versus Japan coming right up. But first, let's take a quick look at the scores of the earlier kickoff today between Saudi Arabia and Qatar. It ended in a goalless draw. And over in Songkhla, Korea Republic became the first team to secure their place in the quarterfinals of the AFC Under-23 Championship when they beat Iran 2-1. But going back to the game at hand, Roshan, Qatar, in their opening game, they were denied a win over Syria. You know, they came back from a 2-0 deficit. What sort of obstacle can they then present to Japan tonight?
Well, I think, you know, what Syria showed is their ability to bounce back from difficult situations, you know, being 2 goals down against Qatar. And then, you know, that sort of kicked them into gear. They decided to be a little bit more aggressive with their pressing, use their strengths a lot more, a little bit better, you know, went a bit more direct, were able to get Barakat on the ball a lot more. And I think what they did well was in the second half, they changed it around, made a few tactical changes, substitutions that helped them. Aladdin Dali came in and he eventually ended up scoring the equalizer. But also Abdul Kader, I think, when he came in, the number 8 in central midfield was technically very good for them. And he gave them that composure in those central positions to hold on to the ball. So against a side like Japan, who are going to be pressing Syria, they're going to need players like that who are able to hold on to it in situations where they are under pressure. But you wonder if there's going to be a little bit of a change in shape as well, because against Qatar they set up in a 4-4-2. So I'm interested to see if they actually go with a back 5 here against this Japanese side.
And it's a must-win, of course, for Japan if they want to secure their place in the quarterfinals. You know, how many changes did you see in this side, and where do you see the goals coming from?
Well, lots of changes in this side, 6 changes in fact. And you know, I think the goals will come from the likes of Ueda and Machino, who will be the main threats for them in those attacking areas. We saw Machino get involved a lot in that first game against Saudi Arabia. His timing of his movements off that attacking line, he starts out in that attacking line, pins himself against the defender, then drifts away and moves off to receive in spaces where he can then use his strengths to exploit and help his side out. So he's going to be a player that Syria will have to keep a lookout for, because he's got that license to sort of just drop off and roam into areas before receiving it from his central midfielders. And Ueda is a player who is very quick. You know, he's got the ability to be direct and take defenders on. So those are the 2 players that you expect to cause issues for Syria here. Otherwise, you know, if you look at the 6 changes there, I could run through them very quickly. Saito Mitsuki, Ueda we've already touched on coming in, Morishima comes in, Yuki Soma comes in, Machida gets an opportunity in central defence, and Matsumoto, the other one of the 6 changes that Japan have made for this game here.
All right, and in the other game that's kicking off simultaneously, is China versus Uzbekistan. Do you have any reason to believe that Howie's boys, you know, can't get 3 points tonight? That Uzbekistan can't get 3 points from Howie's boys.
Uzbekistan can't get 3 points. I think Uzbekistan can. I think, you know, the quality that they have, you know, we didn't see enough of it in the first game. They're still a very strong squad, but perhaps the performance wasn't quite up to the mark, up to the standards that we were expecting of them. Right. And you know, I think Drulovic, their coach, has spoken about making sure that his side is able to perform from the first minute in this game, you know, and making sure that they've got that cutting edge, because they didn't quite have that against Iran. They didn't create too many clear-cut chances, and at times were perhaps a little bit fortunate that Iran's finishing wasn't quite good enough in that game. So yeah, I expect Uzbekistan here to be the side that takes the game to China. At the same time, they're going to have to watch out for China's counter-attacking, because they've got some very quick players in there. The negative news for China here is that Zhang Yuning is out of the competition with an injury, broken metatarsal. But Yang Liu comes into his place, and then you get a different sort of profile of player. You get a player who's quicker in those forward positions, in those areas, who's got the pace to trouble opposition sides in the counter-attack. Duan Liu Yu is another one that I keep an eye out on as well from this Chinese side.
So you were saying Uzbekistan need to take charge of this game. Does that reflect in their starting lineup then?
Well, yeah, they've only made 1 change to the starting lineup, so I think you know, he's keeping faith with the side that started out against Iran. So the only change for Uzbekistan is Oybek Bozorov coming in for Tuktasinov. So, you know, the rest of them, Yakshiboyev still up front there. Abdulholikov keeps his place. He did look good against Iran. Good movement, good hold-up play when they needed him to hang on to it. Qadirkulov is there as well to make a difference for them. So yeah, just that 1 change for Uzbekistan.
All right then, we're just minutes away from kickoff. Syria versus Japan. As always, we will be back next for the full-time show.